Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Boyle. I'm a Technology Integration Specialist with the Milford Public Schools, and today I'm going to be talking about digital tools that you can use for student engagement that are free or very cost effective. There is a bit.ly link to the presentation to the slides, and that link is bit.ly/Boyle DLD 2021. There's also a shared Google Doc that's linked here at the bottom and also again at the end of the slides. If you have any digital tools that were not discussed or presented in these slides, feel free to add them to the Google Doc so that the rest of the attendees can see some of the other digital tools that others might be using. So here's my Twitter handle. I'm also on Instagram. If you have any questions or if you have any other information that you're looking for, feel free to reach out to me on either of these places as well as via email, which is sboyle@milfordma.com. So some of the tools we're going to talk about today, they're all listed here, the 10 that we're going to discuss. There are a few such as Mote, Teacher-Made, Classkick. They have this asterisk after them. That means they offer a free version and a paid version. So we're specifically talking about the free version of these tools. Some of you may have access to the upgraded premium version. They are better on the premium version, but they are just as useful using the free version as well. So the first tool we're going to talk about is Mote. And Mote is a Chrome extension, and what it allows you to do is add voice recording to Google Docs and slides. You can use it to add audio directions for your students to follow, give them audio feedback, or it could be something extra as a scaffold, maybe some hints or extra support that those students might need. There's a link here on this slide to download and install the extension. Once you've installed the extension, you're going to log in and link it to your account. You'll click on the purple Mote icon that shows up in your extension list, or it's directly inside of the slides toolbar at the top. And there's a quick video here to walk you through how to do each of those processes. The next tool is Flipgrid. And Flipgrid is a website. And what it allows you to do is take any terms or definitions or important words that your students might need, and if you've put them into a Google Sheet, it will convert that data into a game or an activity for the students to do. So it will make things like flashcards or a quiz show like Jeopardy! It does a randomizer. You can make a scavenger hunt. It does word puzzles like word searches and crosswords. You can do a typing test, or you can create Mad Libs for your students. You can visit the website right here. And what you do for each activity is slightly different, but basically they give you a template for Google Sheets that you're going to fill out with your terms and definitions or terms that match to one another. And then you upload it into the Flipgrid website, and it will automatically give you the link to the game that your students can complete. There are options for some of them that don't require you to actually use a Google Sheet. You can just copy and paste the terms and definitions or matching that you want to put in there. So there's no need to be a Sheets master. The only caveat with Flipgrid is there's no student accounts. So when your students do these activities, there's no saved progress or teacher dashboard to check in on them. I would recommend if you have your students take a screenshot or a picture of what their final product on the website is, that'll be their record of what they finished. Another really useful tool is Teacher-Made. So Teacher-Made recently announced that they're going to go to a paid version. So for those of you that have been using it, it's free up until the end of this school year, but it's going to shift over to a premium model. But it is a website, and what it allows you to do is take those PDF files that you might have and turn them into interactive worksheets, things like fill in the blank, short answer, multiple choice, matching, hotspots where information pops up. You can do a drop-down menu, true, false, drawings, a lot of the things you can do on a Google form, Teacher-Made allows you to do right on top of the PDF that you upload to the website. And again, there's a link to the website right here. So how it works, teachers upload their PDF files, you insert the various interactive elements that you want to put in there. It can be self-correcting if you put the answer key in there as well. You share the file out with your students, they complete it. It can grade itself if you've turned on that part of the assignment. And then you can also share your assignments with your fellow colleagues who not everybody has to make their own version of something. You can share with one another. Educandy is another website that allows you to create interactive activities. So again, it's a website. If you're on iPads, it does have an app available as well. And you can turn any word list or phrase list into an activity. And the activities they specifically offer are word searches, spelling activities, matching, memory, multiple choice, and there's a few others that are coming down the pipeline on their website. Again, similar to Flippity, you can import or copy paste your word list in there. You get a code or a link that you then send out to your students, whether that's Seesaw, Google Classroom, email, however you share that link with your students. The students play the game. And again, similar to Flippity, the student scores are not saved. So students would have to then take a screenshot or submit a Google form to show the teacher their progress and the score that they received on their assignments. Whiteboard.chat is another really great website that you can use. And there's two different ways that you can use it. You can use it so that each student gets their own digital whiteboard, and that whiteboard can be preloaded with a template created and picked by the teacher, or everybody in the class, teacher and student, can collaborate on a single whiteboard. Think of it as another version of Jamboard. I know there's been a lot of frustration with Jamboard. This is another alternative to that. So the pluses of Whiteboard.chat is that the teachers can see each student's whiteboard in real time as a grid. So when you do the grid view of slides, this works that same way. And teachers can provide direct feedback on those student boards. So the site's available right here. They are making tons of adjustments and adding lots of new features. They're constantly posting on Twitter all the new features that they're adding. So when teachers are requesting something, they're pretty responsive in getting those elements out there for teachers and students to use. So the way it works is teachers create a template. They can share it out to the students. It gets them a link. They give the link out to the students, and then the students interact on their own board or on the shared board. So it's pretty straightforward. Create what you want the students to work on, give them access to it. Students jump in and start working right away. And then the real benefit of this, unlike Jamboard where you have to kind of scroll through the different boards along the top, this gives you that grid view where you can see all of the students at once if you like. Flipgrid's another great tool. And I know some of us don't have privacy screenings for this, so this is up to your district whether you're allowed to use it or not. Again, it's a website and an app, and what it allows students to do is provide a video or audio response or submission to a prompt or a question posed by the teacher. It can also go in reverse where the students can pose questions and prompts and teacher can answer them, or it could be a class discussion based environment. I've seen this used really well as something like a comprehension check or a check-in about a topic or a chapter, maybe science or social studies that the class has been working on. It works really well for fluency assessments, especially if you're still in a remote model. You can use it for author studies. I personally use it for a help desk model. I have a question posted up on my Flipgrid, and anybody who needs help, they can log into Flipgrid, access my code, and ask for help with anything technology-based, and I can reach out to them. So how it works is teachers post on a grid, and within each grid, there can be multiple topics. You can have various grids for different groups of students or classes. And then within each grid, you can have more than one topic. So there's a lot of layers to this particular tool. You share the code or the link out to your students. Students respond. They can respond with video that has audio to go along with it. Or if we have some of our camera shy students, they can reply simply with audio. And then teachers can allow students to comment and like and reply to one another once their response has been posted. Pear is another tool that has been used. It has a premium and a free version. It's also very similar to Nearpod. So for districts that are using Nearpod, the tools are very similar. They do each offer a little bit of difference from one another in what's available in their free version and some of the websites and apps that they sync up with. But what I'm talking about with the free version of Pear is pretty applicable to the free version of Nearpod as well. And what it is it's a website that allows you to embed interactive activities, interactive elements directly into your slides presentations. Things like multiple choice, short answer, planning websites directly into your slides and keeping the students directly on that website. The upgraded Pear Deck version does offer a draggable and drawing option for your students to respond as well. These activities can be student-paced or instructor-paced. So student-paced would be if you wanted to assign it for independent work or homework. Instructor-paced is when you're posting the questions and prompts on the board through your teacher dashboard, and then the students follow along on their devices at the pace that the teacher sets in school. Pear Deck also offers with their premium version takeaways, and what those are printout Google Docs that show the students the prompt and then their response to that specific prompt. So it's a great way to kind of keep a record of what the students do, as well as provide feedback after the session for any answers that the students may have given. So how it works is you take your existing slides, something that already exists, you use the add-on, it's a slides add-on, and you insert the Pear Deck elements. The toolbar pops up on the right-hand side, and you just insert whatever type of question, Pear Deck question, you want to put on that particular slide. You start your lesson, have the students join. You have the option to do a code. Pear Deck does these quirky, funny little sentences to remember the code by, or you can give it a link that you can share out with your students. It does integrate directly with Google Classroom, which is nice. So when you go to start your lesson, you click the Google Classroom button and it sends the information directly to your Google Classroom so students can get it that way. Again, after the session, you can do a student takeaway as a record of student answers and adding feedback. And then also one of the things with the upgraded premium version of Pear Deck is there's a presentation dashboard and a teacher dashboard. The presentation dashboard allows you to share anonymous student responses on the board on the projector screen for all students to see, while the teacher dashboard allows you to see which students are saying what and give you a little bit more control over what's going on in the session. So the next tool is called Blooket. And what Blooket is a website. It's a game-based review. So if you've ever done things like quizzes, this is similar to that. Students can play in individual teams, or they can play in individual sessions, one student against the other, or they can play as teams. So that's up to the teacher how that's formatted. And there are game modes that you can add on to the review that make it a little bit more interesting. There's a racing mode, there's a cafe mode, Tower of Doom the kids really like, and there's some more that are coming as well. Some of these, not all of these, can be used when you assign the activity to be student-paced. So when you're deciding how to use the activity, whether it's going to be whole group in the class with the instructor, or if it's going to be something more homework, independent practice, that'll decide which game mode you might use. So what you do is you select or create your set of words and questions. You click host and you select the game modes that you're going to use. It gives you a link that you then share out with your students. And then, as we've said, only a few of the game modes are self-paced, so you have to pay attention to which mode you use depending on how you're going to use the game. If students create an account, they can earn some of these blooks. They're little characters, these little cube guys that float around on the screen, but they don't have to create an account to play. They can play, and the first question that it asks is, who are you? And they type in their name. There is a review and progress monitoring within the dashboard of the host of the game. So as long as students are inputting their name, if they're not creating accounts, as long as they put their name in, you'll be able to monitor how they answer and their scores throughout the game. Another tool is Classroomscreen. And what this website does is it allows you to add different teacher tools to a screen that are accessible to you and to your class. So if you have a presentation space, a whiteboard or a projector screen interactive or just a standard projector, what this allows you to do is to have tools gathered in one place for easy use. So things like a clock or a timer, a traffic light for timing, sound level tools, things like that. Meditation music, stuff that will kind of help keep your class moving along at the right pace. So what you do is you create your account and log in. You add various different widgets to your screen. So some of them are here in the picture video that's going on in the bottom. You can change the color, the background, add your own images, put text up there if you have any announcements for the kids. So you create what you want your screen to do. You can also create polls and do group makers if you have your students taking attendance in this. If you're using the free version, you cannot save your screen. So once you put all your widgets on your screen, if you X out of your browser, the next time you go back to Classroomscreen, you have to start from scratch and add all of your widgets back in. You can try keeping your browser minimized on your toolbar of your computer, see if that works. I've had some success with that. But if your computer goes to sleep for too long, I find that it tends to start me all over from the beginning again. And then the final tool that I have for this presentation is called Classkick. So it's a website and it's an app. And what it allows you to do, it's another one where you can upload those PDF assignments and put interactive features on top of those PDFs. But the thing that makes Classkick a little bit different is that you can monitor your students as they're working. So if you've ever seen something like Pear or GoGuardian in action, where you can kind of monitor the students while they're in Google Chrome, this is similar as long as they're within that assignment specifically. There's also a please check and a please help button that teachers can use, and it allows you to interact directly with the student and give them some feedback in real time. So what you do is you create or import your activity, add all the interactive functions that you want, assign it to your roster or your class that you've pulled over, and then you can turn on and off the auto grading feature if you've put an answer key in there, or if it's something that's more just for practice, it doesn't have to grade itself if you don't want it to. Students can be monitored as they're working. It shows up as little tiles, similar to how if you looked at Google Slides in a grid view. Students can ask for help. So not only are they going to be able to get help from the teacher, but also from the other students in the class. And the students can say, hey, I'm done. I think I'm done. Can you check my work and let me know how I'm doing? The Classkick also offers a premium version, which means you only get a limited number of assignments in the free version. So once you've reached that limited number, you can delete some of your assignments and keep working with the website, with the program. But you do have to keep your library, your amount of assignments, to a specific number. So there are quite a few other tools out there, and I've compiled a list with links directly to the tools that you can use. Some of them are games. Some of them are just classroom tools like Wheel of Names. You can just do a name picker. Some of them are like puzzle.org. You can create a puzzle for the students to use. Slidesmania gives you tons of great slides templates to use. And I have one more page. Here's some more. There's things like Joy Pixels, where you can pick out different emojis to use for different things. Bouncyballs.org is a noise monitor. Quizlet, I know some of us have used. Again, it's one of those ones that has a paid version as well. And again, here's that link if you want to share your ideas as well. So thank you so much for listening to my session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.